Scotland, 1715. The last Stuart monarch, Queen Anne, is dead. Her passing leaves the throne vacant, igniting a furious succession crisis. But the crown does not pass to the rightful Stuart heir. Instead, it falls to the foreign Hanoverians, a German dynasty with no blood ties to Scotland. For the Scots, this is not just a political dispute. It is an insult. It is a betrayal. For 8 long years, anger has simmered beneath the surface. The Union of 1707 stripped Scotland of its sovereignty, binding it to England under a single rule. The proud nation, once defiant and free, is now just another piece in a foreign king's empire. The Stuart monarchy, once the soul of Scotland, is exiled. Across the sea, in France, James Stuart, the exiled son of James II, waits. For years, he has lived under the protection of King Louis XIV, the last great ally of the Stuart cause. But now, France is at peace with Britain. James is a king without a throne, without an army, without a kingdom. But in Scotland, the tide is turning. The clans grow restless. The Jacobites rise. Their goal? Restore the Stuarts, reclaim their nation, and drive the Hanoverians from power. The time for waiting is over. Scotland marches to war. For months, John Erskine, Earl of Mar, has rallied support for the exiled James, known as the Old Pretender. Thousands of Highlanders answer the call, and by October 1715, Mar commands 12,000 men, the largest Jacobite force ever assembled. They seize Perth, securing a foothold in Scotland. If Mar moves quickly, the road to Stirling is open. But instead, he hesitates. He hopes the arrival of James Stuart will rally more support and give his rebellion legitimacy. But the Old Pretender has been delayed. Under King Louis XIV's protection, James faces a cautious French king, hesitant to openly support a rebellion. This allows the British government to mobilize a counterforce under John Campbell, Duke of Argyll. Argyll is an experienced commander, but he is outnumbered. Only 3,500 troops stand between the Jacobites and Stirling. Finally, in early November, Mar orders his 8,000-strong army south, determined to press his advantage before Argyll's forces become too formidable. Mar's plan is clear. He aims to break through Argyll's forces and secure a path to Stirling, where he can rally more support for the Jacobite cause. But Argyll moves to intercept. Despite his smaller numbers, he chooses the battlefield carefully. Argyll's plan is simple: protect the route to Stirling and prevent Mar's forces from advancing any further. His target, Sheriffmuir, a rough terrain filled with hills, marshes, and rocky ground approximately 10 miles north of Stirling. As the two armies draw near on November 13th, 1715, the fog settles heavily over the field, obscuring the movements of both sides. Mar organizes his 8,000 troops into a long, stretched-out line. On his right flank, Highland clans take position on high ground, ready to charge. On his left, lowland infantry and cavalry hold the low ground. And in his center, Mar and his reserves wait. Argyll knowing he is outnumbered, positions his 3,500 men strategically. On the left, his infantry and cavalry, preparing for defense. On his right flank, the bulk of his cavalry, with infantry and artillery, holding firm in the center. With the battlefield now set, Mar gives the order to attack. Mar orders his right flank to advance. Highlanders charge down the slope, swords raised, roaring their battle cries. They smash into Argyle's left, the force of their charge breaking through the first line of redcoats. The government troops struggle to hold their ground. Under the relentless pressure of the Highlanders, they begin to fall back. The Jacobite right flank push forward. Victory seems within reach. The government left collapses. Redcoats flee. Some cut down as they run. If they press forward, they could wrap around Argyle's army and crush him completely. But across the battlefield, disaster is unfolding. While the Jacobites dominate the right flank, their left flank is vulnerable. Argyle seizes the opportunity. He orders his cavalry on the right to charge forward. The mounted redcoats slice through the Jacobite left, shattering their formation. The left begins to break. Some try to stand their ground, but panic quickly spreads through the Jacobite ranks. Others flee, trampled under hooves or cut down by sabres. Realizing the danger, Mar quickly moves to reinforce the left. He sends additional infantry and cavalry to stabilize the line, hoping to hold the position long enough to regain control. But Argyle's momentum is relentless. His force continued to push forward, advancing toward the Jacobite center. Mar now faces a critical decision. One side of his army is unstoppable. The other is crumbling. For a moment, he has a chance. A single critical moment to seize victory. If he pushes his right flank forward, he can sweep around Argyle's remaining forces, surround them, and crush the government army completely. But if he does nothing, Argyle's cavalry will wheel round and strike his exposed center. A decision must be made. But once again, Mar's hesitation proves costly. His Highland warriors stand poised to advance, but they wait for the order that never comes. Across the field, Argyle sees the opportunity. He does not hesitate. He stabilizes his collapsing flank, rallying the scattered redcoats. He regroups his cavalry, pulling them back into formation. Then, he orders one final push. The redcoat line moves forward, marching in perfect discipline. A storm of bullets tears through the Jacobite left, cutting men down by the dozens. The survivors try to regroup, but the ground is thick with mud and bodies. The government troops keep advancing. The Jacobites fight desperately, but they are exhausted, disorganized, and breaking. Mar watches his left disintegrate before his eyes. The Highland charge has lost momentum. The government forces, though battered, are still standing. Victory is slipping away. The Earl of Mar watches in dismay as his forces disintegrate before his eyes. The decision becomes clear. The battle is lost. Mar, unable to hold his position any longer, orders a retreat. The Jacobite right flank, once victorious, has lost momentum. The Jacobites, tired, wounded, and leaderless, withdraw from the field. The redcoats, equally spent, do not pursue. Their own ranks have been thinned by the carnage, and on the brink of collapse they stand down. The battlefield falls into silence, littered with the dead and dying. Casualties on both sides are heavy. Over 1,000 men lie dead or wounded, their bodies scattered across the moor. The Jacobites suffer around 700 casualties, while the government forces loses nearly 600. Sheriffmuir ends in blood and uncertainty. Neither side claims victory. But for the Jacobites, it is worse than defeat. Their chance to take Stirling is gone, and their rebellion is slipping away. In the days that follow, Jacobite morale crumbles. Mar retreats north to Perth. Then, word arrives on December 22nd, 1715. James Stuart, the old pretender, has landed in Peterhead. The man they fight for has finally arrived. But it is too late. The momentum is gone. The British government tightens its grip and reinforcements are called in from England. By February 1716, the rebellion collapses. Mar flees to France. James Stuart follows soon after. The Jacobite cause is shattered, and Sheriffmuir was their best chance. The dream of a Stuart restoration dies once more. The rebellion of 1715 is over. But Scotland's fight is far from finished. Another generation will rise, and in 1745, the Jacobites will march again.